If you guys have not heard about this story, this is definitely one that is going to be one you want to strap in, buckle up, and it's going to be very, very difficult to listen to. But you guys know that we advocate for children first. The woman that you see on my screen, her name is Rachel Henry, and I believe her full name is Rachel Milan Henry, if I'm not mistaken, okay? But Rachel Henry is a 22-year-old Arizona woman who was accused of doing what? Killing her 3 young children at their Phoenix home. Guys, I really wish I could report better news, but this stuff is important, and I'm sad that this continues to happen. But Henry was arrested after her kids, who were a 7-month-old little girl, was a little baby, a 2-year-old girl, and a 3-year-old boy. And they were found dead on Monday, January 20th, which was just a day and a half ago, not even a full 2 days ago. Phoenix police said in a statement that Henry has been booked into jail on 3 counts of first-degree murder. And if you guys are familiar with first-degree murder, then y'all know even 1 count of first-degree murder upon conviction can result in life in prison or the death sentence, depending on what jurisdiction it's coming out of, okay? Now, the 3 children have been identified by Maricopa County Office of the Medical Examiner as 3-year-old Zane Henry, that's the boy, Mariah Henry, and Catalea Rios. So maybe one of those kids has a different father, but it's spelled Catalaya. I'm sure I did not pronounce that correctly. Y'all know to just deal with it. I don't pronounce all these names correctly, okay? But family members told police that the children had been ill earlier in the day, a police spokesman said at a press conference. An investigator said that the 3 children were found unresponsive Monday night at a home at the 24th Street in Southern in Phoenix. Officers were responding to a 911 call for unknown trouble. I've never even heard of that term before. And while you guys are here, do me a favor and click that thumbs up. It'll help share our stream and let other people know that we're live. So that way we don't have to remind everybody where we're at in the story. Just click that thumbs up. We should have about 100 or so thumbs up. So if we don't have that thumbs up, that means if you're looking and listening to the stream, you might not have clicked the thumbs up. Just click it. It helps. Thank you. They responded to a 911 call for unknown trouble at the home and found the kids just inside of the front door in the living room area. Officers attempted CPR and other first responders provided aid when they arrived, but the children were pronounced dead at the scene, according to the Phoenix police. Now, Henry had previously lost custody of her son, who was the 3-year-old, that's Zane Henry, and her daughter because of issues with her drug addiction. So anybody who guessed that she had a drug addiction, yes, she had a drug addiction. All right. And again, if you guys are having stream issues, do me a favor. Do not type it in the chat. Just deal with it, please. Okay. Because it kind of throws me off a little bit. If it's freezing, just do the best that you can. Okay. Here we go. Let's continue. She previously lost custody because of drug addiction. And that's a prosecutor saying this in court on Tuesday. Now, Henry had lived in Oklahoma until moving to Arizona in the summer of 2019, so just this past year. Her children had been taken away from her while she was still in Oklahoma, okay? Now, Henry lived in the Phoenix home with the 30-year-old father of her 3 children and a 49-year-old woman who was referred to in court documents as the aunt of either Henry or the children's father and the homeowner. Police were still interviewing them, but do not believe that they were aware that the children had been killed until the 911 call was made, according to court documents. There's 5 things that I need you guys to know about this story, okay? Number 1, police responded to the 911 call at the 2520 East Vineyard Road at about 7:20 p.m. on January 20th of 2020 this year. The caller, an unidentified female, told police 3 children were dead inside the home. Officers, firefighters, and EMS personnel arrived and determined that the kids were indeed deceased. One of the other adults in the residence home told police that the children had last been seen alive at 2 p.m. The children's mother, Rachel Henry, had told relatives that she would put the kids down for a nap while the relative went to pick up the other adult resident from work, according to the probable cause affidavit filed by the police. And at 3 p.m., the other adults returned, and Henry was holding her 7-month-old daughter and her 3-year-old son and 1-year-old daughter appeared to be sleeping on the couch in the living room. Henry told the relative she would be taking the 7-month-old into her room for a nap, and then the relative did not see the baby awake again after that. Now, police said in a probable cause statement, Rachel, the mother, that chick right there on my screen, she admitted to smothering each child, starting with the 1-year-old baby. That chick right there. She told police that she was playing with the 1-year-old girl, wrestling on top of her, and felt the 1-year-old female's breathing was obstructed, but continued to impede her breathing by placing her hand over her mouth. God, that sounds so damn stupid. Rachel stated the girl kicked as she did so, while the 3-year-old male boy yelled at her in an attempt to get her to stop. Police said her 3-year-old son tried to help his 1-year-old sister by punching his mom. Did you guys hear me say that? That's why I say these children cannot speak for themselves, and these children cannot defend themselves against the tyranny of their caretakers because they are not physically big enough. So imagine, instead of 3 years old, what if this little boy would have been like 13 years old? The 3-year-old boy tried to help his baby sister by punching his own mom, who was in the process of trying to kill this kid, but to no avail. Henry told police that she knew she had killed her daughter when she stopped kicking her. Jesus Christ. Henry says she chased the 3-year-old boy and was interrupted when someone arrived back at the house. Henry told police she spent time playing with the boy and took him into a back bedroom where she changed his underpants. According to police, as Rachel did so, she placed the 3-year-old boy on the floor of the bedroom, straddled him with one of her legs, and placed her hand over his nose and mouth. Rachel described singing to the 3-year-old male as he scratched her chest and pinched her. She told police that she used her weight on top of him to smother him until he died, according to the affidavit. Rachel fed the 7-month-old female the bottle in her bedroom until she fell asleep. Rachel sang her a song. Guys, hear me. Rachel sang her a song and placed her hand over her face and impeded her breathing. Rachel sang to the 7-month-old female until she became unconscious and the baby died. Rachel placed all of her children in a position in the living room couch as if they were taking a nap. Rachel did not tell or say what happened. Autopsy results have not been yet released by the Maricopa County Office of Medical Examination, whatever. Police responded after someone called 911 without having much information about what they were responding to. When officers arrived, that's when they contacted the 3 adults, which included the mother, the father, and another relative. They were directed inside the home, and that's when they saw the 3 children. Fortune said that Fortune is the police sergeant. So Mercedes Fortune said that the call came from inside the home, but said that she wasn't exactly sure who actually made the call. She said it's believed that one of the adults, not Henry, who called 911. About the cause of death, Fortune told reporters, our medical examiner is going to do the examination of the 3 children, and that is going to be determined by them. Let's go ahead and move on. Point number 2. One of Rachel Henry's family members told police that she had methamphetamine addiction and had been acting strange in the past several days, according to the court documents. That's where this shit starts to bother me for real, for real. Okay? So, hold on just a second. Wow. We're getting ready to actually talk about the gentleman that just inboxed me back. Now, because his name is actually in this story, I'm not going to do anything except read what's in the news. But he did just respond to me, so he may or may not be watching. But again, if you guys are watching, do me a favor and click the thumbs up and share the stream. It'll let other people know that we're live. Let me see how it sounds. We're getting ready to actually talk about the gentleman that just... Guys, if the stream is freezing, I can't do anything about it. Just go out and come back in. I can hear myself, though. On a completely different internet signal. I can actually hear myself. May not be watching. But again, if you guys are watching, do me a favor and click the thumbs up and share the stream. It'll let other people know that we're live. Let me see how it sounds. We're getting ready to actually talk about the gentleman. That's really all I can do at this point. Okay, so let's move on. So apparently the family member said that she had a meth addiction and had been acting strange. That's where it gets crazy for me, because that means somebody knew something and they didn't do anything, and they basically left a meth head around 3 innocent, defenseless babies. I have a big problem with that. And maybe they even need to look at possibly charging the biological father and the aunt that lived there, right? Police, let me see, let me see. This investigation is still ongoing, according to Mercedes Fortune, who is the Phoenix police sergeant, said it's still ongoing. There's a lot of collection and gathering of evidence that still needs to be done, and obviously there's going to be other interviews with witnesses and additional information. As you can imagine, this case is very complex and there are a lot of moving parts. Fortune said she did not know if the mother had provided a reason for harming the children, and said that she would be part of the ongoing investigation. Rachel Henry had moved to Arizona recently from Oklahoma. The home where she was living with her 2 family members and 3 children is on a property that also includes a business, possibly a landscaping company or nursery. But it said it said she was not sure whether Henry's family is associated with it. Point number 3. According to her Facebook page, which is currently still active, but it's not a lot of information on her Facebook page. But Rachel Milan Henry is a native of San Diego, California, but she graduated in 2011 from Prague High School in Oklahoma, which is a real small little country ass town. I knew one person from that city and I did not like him at all. That's all I'm gonna say about that. But it's near Oklahoma City, and it's really it's near, but it's not near. But it's out in the country. Lance, I'm not sure what the problem is, but I don't like you saying stuff like that, bro. Let's move on. Henry studied to be a certified nursing assistant at the Gordon Cooper Technology Center in Shawnee, Oklahoma. And I am a little bit familiar with Shawnee. That's according to her Facebook profile. She began her studies there while still in high school and graduated in May of 2019. Henry is unemployed, a Maricopa County prosecutor said in court. Now, there's a gentleman by the name of Anthony Repsher, a friend of Henry's from Prague, Oklahoma. Now, that's actually in the court documents, okay? So don't get mad at me for putting it out there. It's already out there. He said, I've been around here a lot. I mean, I helped her mom out quite a bit. Repsher said that he was shocked by what Henry is accused of. He said he and his wife, Tiffany Hardy, became friends with Henry about 6 years ago. Rachel and my wife actually became very close. They hang out quite a bit, but we got to see a lot of drama that went on at the house. As a matter of fact, she'd even babysit my children. I never noticed any kind of depression or anger or hostility towards the children or anyone else. Hardy told the news station, I would never have suspected her from that. I knew she was unhappy, but not to that extent. According to her friends, Henry's mother died recently and she had moved to Arizona after her death. In 2014, Henry wrote on Facebook, life can't be tamed and it isn't a game. What the hell does that even mean? Expect the unexpected. You don't let your guard down for 1 second. If you do, life will come back and knock your lights out. Love is the reason you keep your guard up, though, until someone comes along and proves that they deserve it. But you live, laugh, and learn along the way. Life is too short to be anything but happy. So, this is why you have to live life to the fullest and not allow anyone to put you down. You also have to stand up for yourself and not allow anyone to take advantage of you or what you do. Just ignore the negative things and have fun. I don't know what kind of quote that is, but I'm going to tell you guys, it bothers me when I see people on Facebook and all they do is post quotes from somebody else. They always posting somebody else's stuff, and maybe it's just me. Maybe I'm just not looking at it right. But Henry shared a meme in 2014 that actually said, everyone makes mistakes in life, but that doesn't mean that they have to pay for them the rest of their life. Sometimes good people make bad choices, and it doesn't mean that they're bad. It means that they're human. I don't know about that, girl. Don't know about that. But anyway, next point. Phoenix Mayor Kate Gallego issued a statement in the triple homicide saying, yesterday's city public safety officers responded to the scene of a heartbreaking triple homicide. 3 innocent children lost their lives, and this atrocity defies the realms of one's worst nightmares. Our thoughts are foremost with the victims and the families as they navigate this painful and complex time. Gallego added, I also want to take a moment and give my gratitude to the public safety personnel who responded to the crime scene and are currently investigating. This is an investigation will undoubtedly stick with these individuals the rest of their lives. It's a horrific case like this one that should give us all pause to thank the first responders who faced this unimaginable situation head on, whole answering the call to public service. Let me skip the rest of that because that's a lot of big words and I have trouble reading some of that stuff. Last point. Rachel Henry is being held in the Maricopa County Phoenix jail on a $3 million bond. How many of y'all think that she should have got a bond at all? Because I personally think no. I don't think she should have got a bond at all. But she got a bond, and she's charged with 3 counts of first-degree murder. She made a brief court appearance on January 21st, which you guys will see a video of that coming up here. And the charges have been read to her by the judge. She has not picked up an attorney yet. And according to the news, she was mumbling softly to the judge during the court hearing. She asked, I'm not getting released? After learning her bond had been set at $3 million. Guys, she's got to be fucking stupid. Jesus Christ. The judge told her she would need to post 10% of the bond in collateral, the news report. Henry sighed deeply and quietly asked for access to a bail bondsman. She was told then by the judge a phone number and necessary numbers would have been given to her at the jail. Henry told the judge, I don't know how I'm going to be able to get any money. I don't have a job or anything. But you got 3 kids, though. Not that she could even afford a bond at all. That's not even the point. Just the fact of what, yes, she's an idiot. Thank you. She's a complete freaking idiot. Straight up and down. And I think that more people knew that she was a freaking idiot and they allowed her to keep these kids in danger the way that they did. Now, video recorded by the news camera showed Henry being led to the 4th Avenue jail by 2 Phoenix police officers. She was wearing a white Tyvek disposable suit and her hands cuffed behind her back. Henry does not have a prior criminal history in Arizona or Oklahoma, and she's scheduled to return to court on January 31st. But they knew that she was a fucking meth head, and they let her keep the kids. So for that, the biological father and aunt that let her live there, I think that they should be held accountable because they kept those kids in danger. Let's go ahead and give the fair usage and let you guys take a look at what happened in the videos. Federal law allows citizens to reproduce, distribute, or exhibit portions of copyrighted motion pictures, videotapes, or video discs under certain circumstances without the authorization of the copyright holder. This is called fair use. It is allowed for purposes of criticism, news reporting, teaching, and parody, which doesn't infringe of copyright under 17 U.S.C. 107.
Rachel Henry came to Arizona from Prague, Oklahoma, described as a typical small town.
Now to Arizona, where a young mother is accused of horrific crimes. Phoenix police say Rachel Henry is suspected of killing her 3 children and the details behind the alleged crimes are nothing short of disturbing. Laura Podesta is here following the story. What is the latest on this investigation?
So police still have a whole lot to go through, but they do say they're going to be interviewing people who knew this mother, and they're going to be looking for a potential motive. This crime happened in Arizona, and the Child Services Department there said there had been no red flags with this family. However, the family had recently moved from Oklahoma, and in that state, the children had previously been removed from her home. Wearing an orange jumpsuit, Rachel Henry appeared before a judge Tuesday. The 22-year-old is accused of smothering her 3 children in their Phoenix home, even singing to some of them as she took their lives, according to the police report. Investigators say Henry then put the 3-year-old, 1-year-old, and 7-month-old on a couch, positioned to look as if they were taking a nap. A friend of Henry who wished to remain anonymous said this is not the person she knew.
I'm disappointed and I'm heartbroken. I don't understand how she could do something like that.
Police say Henry admitted to committing the crimes and told them the children's father was not home at the time.
As you can imagine, this case is very complex. There's a lot of moving parts to it. And so we are comfortable in saying now that the mother is responsible for the death of the children.
Part of the next phase of the investigation will be determining motive. The police report says Henry had a methamphetamine addiction and had been acting strange the last several days. Police are also looking at the role postpartum depression may have played.
Investigators look into every aspect of it, right? During the interview process, that's something that they are so experienced in speaking and dealing with these type of cases.
Henry.
They need to stop using postpartum as an excuse. I'm just saying. Or people that suffer from it shouldn't be allowed to have kids in their presence because that poses a danger to the kids. You can't say, well, if something happens, then it's okay because they have postpartum depression. I don't like that at all. It's a stupid excuse.
He is now charged with 3 counts of first-degree murder and is being held on a $3 million bond.
So I know you said that they hadn't been living in Arizona for very long, but is the community reacting to this?
Yes, the mayor, Kate Gallego, she issued a rare statement saying that she was so thankful for the first responders and the paramedics who tried to revive these children and unfortunately couldn't. She said that this is an investigation.
And y'all also got to remember that all of the options that they have, the safe zones, safe havens, and all of that stuff, adoption, give the kid to the father, like all of these different things that you can do, or just not get pregnant. It's still a choice.
That will undoubtedly stick with those individuals
No
for the rest
excuse.
of their lives. And we're also hearing from neighbors who did not know this family that well because they'd moved rather recently, but they said nothing like this had happened in their community before.
All right, Laura, thank you so much.
How could she? Our cameras rolling as the woman who police say admits to killing her 3 children walked into jail.
And that's where she is tonight, appearing in front of a judge just hours ago. ABC 15's Mike Pelton obtaining the new court documents. And Mike, the details in these are absolutely heartbreaking.
And extremely disturbing, many of them too graphic to even mention. But what we can say is the 22-year-old mother is accused of smothering her 3 children to death, with other adults inside the home apparently unaware of what she'd done. 3 children smothered to death at the hands of their own mother, Rachel Henry. That's what police say in new court documents. The children, ages 3 and younger, took their last breaths inside this home on Monday. Police say Henry then placed them, quote, in a position on the living room couch as if they were taking a nap. No motive mentioned, but in court Tuesday, an attorney for the state revealed this.
By her own admission, she has a history of drug addiction, specifically to methamphetamines. And my understanding is her kids have previously been removed from her home by DCS related to her drug addiction.
My sister showed me the picture and immediately I just burst with tears. That's her.
Caitlin Klug says in recent months she met and often talked with Rachel Henry.
Apparently that's supposed to be a girl. Good Lord, man.
She just would not stop talking about her kids.
That's supposed to be a female? Man.
Her kids. She would see something and she would, oh, my kids would like that.
We're told Henry moved from Oklahoma to Arizona last year. Caitlin wonders what apparently caused her friend to snap.
I just want to know why,
I don't think it's not possible to me. Like, it doesn't seem possible to me that she would do that to them, the way she spoke of them.
I brought a flamingo because they say flamingos are birds from paradise, so they're in paradise right now.
Marina Ruelas stopped by the home where a memorial of balloons and candles continues to grow.
People like me, you know, I tried many years to try to have a baby, and here people are killing them.
Now,
here's her actually in court.
Please state your name and date of birth.
Joanne, 8/26/97.
I'm going to conduct your initial appearance. Do we have appearances by counsel in the Henry case?
Afternoon, Your Honor. Christopher Sammons on behalf of the state.
Thank you. Ma'am, you're here on a new case. You're accused of murder, 3 counts of murder in the first degree, class 1 felony. You're entitled to an attorney. One's going to be appointed for you. Your next court date in this matter is going to be January 28th, 8:30 in the morning, followed by a preliminary hearing January 31st at 8:45. Those hearings will be held at Superior Court Complex, downtown Phoenix. You'll get some paperwork in a moment with the date, the time, and the address. Does the state wish to be heard in this matter?
Yes, Your Honor. The state is asking for a bond of $3 million cash. The basis for that request, Your Honor, is first of all, obviously the nature of the charges and the fact that there are 3 different victims in this case, all of whom are minors, and the fact that each of these charges carries a minimum sentence of life in prison. Additionally, Judge, Your Honor, we have concerns in terms of whether Ms. Henry is a flight risk. She has very minimal ties to Arizona. The information we have is that she's only lived here since June of 2019. She is not employed. Her ties are to Oklahoma, which is where she's from. Additionally, Judge, the information we have, and by her own admission, she has a history of drug addiction, specifically to methamphetamines. And my understanding is her kids have previously been removed from her home by DCS related to her drug addiction. So given all of that information, Judge, we are asking for a $3 million cash bond.
Ma'am, you're under no obligation to speak here. Everything here is recorded, videotaped, could be used against you. That said, the state, as you heard, saw fit to send an attorney down and make an appearance and speak in your case. So in fairness, I'm going to give you the same opportunity. Is there anything you'd like to say regarding your release conditions in this matter?
I'm not getting released.
Okay. You're going to have a bond, a significant bond. It's $3 million. I'm actually going to make that a secured appearance bond of $3 million. Secured bond means you can work with a bail bondsman. They usually need 10% plus some collateral. 10% in your case is still $300,000. If you post that bond and get released, you'll be subject to supervision to the pretrial services agency. May not possess any weapons, no drugs, so without prescription. If you're unable to post that bond, you'll remain in custody, and they'll take you to see the judge for that next hearing, which again is on the 28th. Do you have any questions?
How can I see a bail bondsman?
You have access to a phone in your cell. Right next to the phone are various phone numbers for bonding companies. Give them a call.
And how would I be able to get money?
I'm sorry.
I don't know how I'd be able to get any money. I don't have a job or anything.
Well, it's a sizable amount, I acknowledge. But if you're unable to post that bond, like I said before, you'll remain.
She said, how am I going to be able to get $300,000? I don't have a job. Hashtag take the ovaries. Thank you so much, Amy Okami. My Lord. I don't even know how well y'all can hear this, but I've got a couple more videos here that might be able to hear it a little bit better. Like, her concern is getting out of prison, out of jail, not the fact that you murdered 3 of your own children who range in age of 3 years old being the oldest, 2 years old, and a 7-month-old kid. Zane Henry, the boy, was 3 years old. He tried to fight his mom back for killing his baby sister. Then there's Mariah Henry and Catalea. It looks like Catalina, but Catalea Rios. She murdered 3 kids and she's worried about, am I gonna get a bond? What? Who fucking cares? Jesus, your brain cannot be that fried. Jesus Christ.
In custody, at least until your next court date. I do think a sizable bond is appropriate based on the The accusations against you and the nature of the charges. Anything else?
What would be the terms of the release?
I'm having a hard time hearing you, ma'am. I need you to speak up.
What would be the terms of the release if I was able to get the bond?
No weapons, no drugs without prescription.
She said, what would be the terms of the release if I get a bond? Man, this bitch is so stupid.
Don't miss your court dates. There'll be some other general ones that'll all be in the paperwork.
They don't have any choice but to answer her stupid ass question.
All right, unless you need anything else to write and sign that black pad, you're just signing to get that order that I mentioned.
Y'all see this, right?
Just devastating for so many people. Here's what we know right now. 3 young children are dead. Their mother, 22-year-old Rachel Henry, has been arrested.
She needs to be sent on a rocket ship. She does not need to be in prison for life. She either needs to be executed, or NASA needs to give her a phone call and be like, hey, would you like to be a part of the next space program, and we'll launch your ass into space on an unstable rocket ship and see how you bear with that? I'd love to see that happen. Send her to another dimension, put her on a rocket, and launch her off of this damn planet. I hate baby killers. Y'all understand what I'm saying? Absolutely hate baby killers.
Their deaths.
She is expected to be in court soon before a judge. We have team coverage of this breaking story tonight.
And I don't think she's smiling. I know some people said that. I don't think she's smiling. It's just a stupid look on her face. She's crying sad, but she's not. She's only sad because she's going to be in jail possibly for life or face the death penalty. She's not even sad. She don't give a shit about those kids.
Team 12's William Pitts has been in the neighborhood where the family lived, talking to neighbors and finding out what happened.
And Team 12's Michael Doudna is live at the 4th Avenue jail where Henry's being held tonight. Let's start with William Pitts. And Will, this is just, I mean, tragic doesn't even do it justice. This is just devastating for everyone there.
It is, and to pretty much everyone around here. Nobody can understand why or even how this happened. This house has been vacant for most of the day. Police say 22-year-old Rachel Henry confessed to killing her kids. Now the question is why anyone would do that. Rachel Henry was silent as she was led into the 4th Avenue jail.
Is there anything you want to say?
Phoenix police say Henry admitted to them that she killed her 3 children, a 3-year-old boy, 2-year-old girl, and a 7-month-old girl.
We are comfortable in saying now that the mother is responsible for the death of the children.
Investigators are still trying to piece together what happened at this home. The call originally came into the Phoenix Fire Department as a drowning.
Drowning with 3 patients, 2520 East Vineyard.
But when firefighters got there, they found no pool, no obvious signs of trauma, just Henry, the children's father, and another relative. Medics tried CPR, but all 3 kids were dead. Henry apparently told them the kids had been sick.
It's terrible. It just, I can't to think about it. It hurts my heart.
Neighbors are in shock. Henry had only lived here a month or 2. She'd apparently just moved from Oklahoma. Some didn't even know anyone was living there.
3 little children, they're angels, they're innocent.
I saw that she was standing next to a police officer. She didn't cry. All of a sudden, she cried. But I saw her standing, and I didn't know she was the mom until this morning when I watched the news.
It tears me apart even to hear it. Even if I didn't know them at all, it hurts. I think prayer and pray for her and God forgive her for what she did.
Phoenix police say the medical examiner will have to determine how those 3 kids.
Well, the question everyone's asking tonight, what would lead a young mom to kill all 3 of her children?
ABC 15 investigator Melissa Blasey.
So apparently what happened was the aunt went to go pick up the father from work, and she did this while they were headed to work, and then once they got back, this is what they found. That's what I understand.
This has been looking.
And if guys would do me a favor and click that thumbs up. One of my moderators, let me know how many thumbs up we have compared to how many people are watching right now. And I know that number is going to go up and down because something is wrong with our stream. Until I can figure that out, there's really nothing else I can do about it. But let me know where we stand.
Into the alleged murderer's background, Melissa.
Yeah, the ABC 15 investigators have learned that 22-year-old Rachel Henry was a certified nurse aide from Oklahoma. She grew up in the small town of Prague, about an hour drive from Oklahoma City, and then she moved to the valley several months ago. It's not clear, though, why she moved. The ABC 15 investigators checked court records in both Oklahoma and Arizona, and Henry appears to have no prior criminal history. And Arizona's Department of Child Safety has told us that there are no prior reports of child abuse involving this mom. Of course, she's only lived here a few months. She and the children were living in a mobile home on this property, as Claudia said, on Vineyard near 24th Street. The owner of the property does own a landscaping company, and lots of the company's equipments and trees and plants are all stored here. Last night, Phoenix firefighters arrived at the home after being dispatched to a triple drowning call, but the police call was for unknown trouble. Still a little inconsistency there. An autopsy will determine the exact cause of death for all three of these little children. Now, police have also said that the
Let me take a pause for the cause real quick, if you guys do not mind. And I want to say thank you to Bridget, My Journey Called Life. Thank you so much for joining the channel membership. Truly appreciate that. And thank you so much for helping our channel continue to grow, because you guys know that it takes so much to continue to try to make time and make these videos possible. So thank you so much to Bridget. Again, thank you for joining the channel membership. And all she did was she clicked that join button down there. It gives you 3 options. And thank you so much, man, for really just doing that out of the kindness of your heart. Thank you so much.
30-year-old father of the children was at the home, as well as another person and another adult, but authorities have not released their names. Back to you.
Melissa, thank you. And well,
Please state your name and date of birth.
Rachel Henry, 8/26/97.
We're going to skip that. We've already heard that part. Here's the next video. There's a few of them.
Please state your name and date of birth.
Rachel Henry, 8/26/97.
Live team coverage continues now, live from downtown Phoenix.
And Rachel, where does the case move forward from here?
Yeah, good evening, Mark and Caribe. The suspect in this case, 22-year-old Rachel Henry, the mother of these 3 victims in this particular case, is behind bars here at the 4th Avenue Jail. Now, an attorney tells 12 News the next step in this particular case is a tough one, because Phoenix PD says that Henry confessed to those killings.
It makes it difficult, because now you've got somebody who, within their own words, is confessing and admitting, here's what I did.
Defense attorney Hector Diaz telling 12 News Rachel Henry's confession to cops doesn't make this a cut and dry case.
Did she make that confession voluntary, or was it something else? Was it coerced by police conduct? And again, there's no information to suggest that, but it's something that I think you look at in terms of defending a case, especially when there's a confession. Was the confession voluntarily made?
What do y'all think about that? That's a defense attorney, and I get it, and he's just trying to get himself a job. He's trying to get hired, trying to get himself another client. He noticed this girl is screwed up the creek, and I'm sorry. I mean, that's what attorneys do. I get it. I understand it. Okay. Let me thank real quick to Night Rider. Night Rider sent in a 3rd donation. This is her 3rd donation today, and she said, stay strong. Thank you, Night Rider, if you are listening. I also want to say thank you real quick. Said, Peach Cutie Pie, such a heartbreaking story. Keep doing what you do. She sent in a very nice donation by way of PayPal. Thank you so much for doing it. And also, love you, Parker Lynn. Thank you very much. I got your donation. And we also got one more from, let me make sure I can say the name. This is Tony. And Tony said, thank you for all that you do, and got your cash out. So thank you very much. Links are in the description box if any of you guys feel it in your heart that you want to contribute to our platform and our message for advocating for children. So thank you.
Henry going before a judge while prosecutors point to a history of drug abuse and mistreatment of her kids.
One of the issues that a defense attorney is going to have to be able to gauge and to be able to evaluate is, can this person assist in their own defense, or are they laboring under some kind of mental issue?
In Arizona, legal counsel can request a mental health hearing in hopes of determining why something like this could happen.
It really takes time in terms of looking at her mental health and looking at her history, right? And so that is, again, it's a possibility. Does that mean that she completely goes scot-free? It doesn't. I mean, she still is going to be held accountable. It's different though under those statutes, the guilty except insane statutes.
Diaz adds that if she is in fact confessing to killing her young kids, then the next steps for prosecutors is determining
Why did it happen? And part of that is to allow the county attorney to make a determination on whether or not this is the kind of case that is appropriate to seek the death penalty.
Man, wow.
Again, important to keep in mind that a confession does not equate to a conviction in terms of the law. Rachel will be back in court next week. A case will certainly continue to follow. We're live in downtown Phoenix. Rachel Cole, 12 News at 10.
Okay, Rachel.
My understanding is her kids have previously been removed from her home by DCS related to her drug addiction.
I don't know how I feel getting any money. I don't have a job or anything.
Good evening. Breaking developments tonight in a story that has all of us puzzled, disgusted, and heartbroken. It's something that's just so hard to wrap your head around. How could a mother kill her own kids?
Police say Rachel Henry admits to taking the lives of her 3 children. The young mom going before a judge as we learn the sickening details of what unfolded.
And we want to give you a warning. Some of the details will make you sick to your stomach when you hear them.
Live team coverage starts with Michael Doudna, who joins us live from South Phoenix and the home where the kids died. Michael?
Yeah, guys, it's a heartbreaking story. We're actually at the home right now near 24th Street in Southern, where you can see the memorial growing behind us, people leaving candles in honor of the 3 different children. Court documents that the 12 News I-team fought to get tonight, revealing the 22-year-old mother methodically smothered her kids. And again, a warning. Some of the details that we're about to see in this case are really hard to hear. Toys and candles line the fence outside the home, where 3 children lost their lives.
Rachel Henry, 8/26/97.
Rachel Henry, the children's mother, now booked with charges of their murder.
You're accused of murder, 3 counts of murder in the first degree.
The state says Henry had drug problems, especially with meth, and once had children taken away from her before she moved to Arizona last year. But those claiming to know Henry say she had her issues but loved her children.
What she did was talk about her kids, like, my kids this, my kids that, like, as if she wanted to do right for her kids and maybe change her lifestyle.
But details in court paperwork paint a horrifying picture, saying Henry admits to police she smothered each child, starting with her 1-year-old daughter. The paperwork going on to say that the mom admits her 3-year-old son yelled no and tried to get his mom to stop smothering his sister, but Henry didn't stop until the 1-year-old stopped kicking and she knew her daughter was dead.
Wow, y'all hear that? Hashtag babies for benefits. Thank you. She didn't care about these kids and she didn't love those kids at all. Carmen, thank you. And I agree with you. Said she looked like she does not care. She doesn't care at all. I agree. Was that her meth dealer? Ooh, MGTOW monger. How about that? How about that? That is very possible. I'm just saying. Is that chick, dude looking person, human being thing looks very, very, very suspect. I'm just saying.
She loved him so much. Like, how could somebody that loves their kids do that?
Documents reveal Henry would then chase after the 3-year-old son, straddling him and singing to him while she smothered him. Henry would do the same with her 7-month-old daughter.
It's the most difficult part to see children who are the most innocent that have obviously lost their lives.
Investigators say Henry put all 3 children on the couch as if they were taking a nap, never telling the rest of the family.
Probably one of the most difficult calls that our officers and fire personnel respond to.
A judge now has set the bond at $3 million, $1 million each for each of her 3 children.
I'm not getting released.
She said, am I getting released? Am I getting released? Are you guys gonna let me out? You murdered your 3 children. Are you serious? Stupid female. My God.
Henry is due back in court 1 week from today as investigators and first responders continue to cope with the horrifying details from this case.
I also gotta say this, man. Shame on the biological father. He knew that she was a meth head and kept sleeping with her and kept providing his seed. Shame on him too, man. He's complicit in this also for enabling her.
As people are still trying to reel and deal with everything that happened.
Golly.
We're live in South Phoenix. Michael Downa, 12 News.
Dan, what led you to do this to your children? Is there anything you want to say to the rest of your family? Do you have any comment about this at all, ma'am? Why'd you do this? To the father of those children, is there anything you want to say?
Stood for it's a case that's unimaginable and incredibly difficult to comprehend. We continue to uncover new details in the case of a Valley mom who admitted to killing her 3 children, all of them under the age of 3.
Today, the identities of the 3 children were revealed by police. They are 3-year-old Zane Henry, 2-year-old Mariah Henry, and 7-month-old Catalea Rios. Police say their mother, Rachel Henry, admitted to killing them.
They were found dead at a home near 24th Street in Southern on Monday night. The parents and another female relative were home at the time. Police say Henry recently moved to Arizona from Oklahoma. Henry was booked into the 4th Avenue jail on 3 counts of first-degree murder yesterday.
But now we want to make sure you know what we know and how this tragic case all unfolded. Here's a timeline of what led up to the deaths of these 3 young kids. But before we tell you exactly what happened, we want to warn you the details are extremely disturbing.
Once you guys come in, for the new people, please click that thumbs up. Can everybody give me a thumbs up? Let me know that you heard me. And just say, yes, Jay, I heard you. Click the thumbs up or type it in the chat. Let me know that you heard me. Thank you, guys.
Drowning with 3 patients, 2520 East Vineyard, engine 23, rescue 32, engine 32, engine 22, battalion 5, rescue 11, rescue 58, PI 3, CR 12, traps 9K11.
Monday, January 20th, 7:20 p.m. Officers respond to this house near 24th Street and Southern Avenue in Phoenix.
No trouble, 2520 East Vineyard, 425
A woman called to report 3 children, all under the age of 3, were dead inside the home. When Phoenix police and fire crews arrived, they determined a 3-year-old.
All right, I see a few people heard me. So again, for everybody else, I just turned on the DVR, so you guys, like, even if it does buffer, then you guys ought to be able to watch it pretty cleanly if you just back it up just a few seconds. So, okay, a few people heard me. Okay, they clicked the thumbs up. Thank you guys for doing that.
Boy, 1-year-old girl, and 7-month-old girl all died. The children's mother, Rachel Henry, her husband, and the kid's aunt were all taken to the Phoenix Police Department. Court documents reveal Rachel had a methamphetamine addiction and had been acting strange the past several days. It goes on to say Rachel admitted to smother each child, starting with the 1-year-old female, describing how she was playing with her and wrestling on top of her, then placed her hand over the girl's mouth until she stopped kicking. Wow. All while her 3-year-old boy yelled no at her and punched her to get her to stop. Rachel then chased her 3.
Y'all heard that, right? The little boy tried to fight his mom off of his baby sister.
It goes on to say Rachel admitted to smother each child, starting with the 1-year-old female, describing how she was playing with her and wrestling on top of her, then placed her hand over the girl's mouth until she stopped kicking. All while her 3-year-old boy yelled no at her and punched her to get her to stop. Rachel then chased her 3-year-old, but said she stopped when someone came home. She later took the boy into a bedroom, placed him on the floor, straddled him with one of her legs, and placed her hand over his nose and mouth, smothering him until he died as she sang to him. Finally, Rachel fed her 7-month-old girl a bottle in her bedroom until she fell asleep. Once again, she sang her a song while placing her hand over the baby's face until she died. Rachel placed all of the children in a position on the living room couch as if they were taking a nap, not telling anyone what happened.
just devastating. Be sure to stay with 12 News for continuing coverage on this tragic story. We'll have team coverage tonight on 12 News at 5 and 6. And you can find all of our coverage on this case on the 12 News app and on 12news.com.
I can tell you guys that this is probably one of the most difficult calls that our officers and fire personnel respond to. It's the most difficult part to see children who are the most innocent that have obviously lost their lives. So it's very difficult, and we're trying to determine why this occurred. And those are the questions that we're going to hopefully get answers to when investigators speak to the family.
So this morning we have learned that through the investigation, the 22-year-old mother has admitted to harming her 3 children, which caused their demise. As you can remember, they were pronounced deceased last night. She will be booked on 3 counts of first-degree murder. This investigation is still ongoing. There's still a lot of collection and gathering of evidence that needs to still be done, and obviously there's going to be other interviews with witnesses and additional information. As you can imagine, this case is very complex. There's a lot of moving parts to it, and so we are comfortable in saying now that the mother is responsible for the death of the children.
You know, last night when we heard you in your first initial press conference, and we could hear it now in your voice, you mentioned how hard this is, not only for first responders, for your officers.
Let me know how well you guys can hear this. Can y'all hear that okay? Because I can hear it okay through my phone. But let me know if y'all can hear that okay.
When they come onto a scene like this, but when you're dealing with 3 kids, this is something you guys never want to walk up to.
Absolutely. You know, I had an opportunity to go home last night after speaking with you guys. The investigators and everybody else that's behind me at this scene has not. And they work very hard, they work tirelessly, and so very proud of the work that they do every day on cases like this, because they are very difficult. So just very supportive of them.
Sergeant, can you explain to us what initially called officers up to this call?
Absolutely. So last night about 7:30, there was an unknown trouble call that came into our 911 call center. At that moment, officers responded. You know, those type of calls, we don't have very much information. We just basically, someone calls 911, there's not a lot of information coming through. And so when officers arrived, that's when they contacted the 3 adults, which included the mother, the father, and another relative. They were directed inside that home, and that's where they saw the 3 young children.
Was that somebody inside this home that called 911?
Yes.
Okay, a father or mother?
I don't know. I know that it was more than likely one of the relatives that was here at the scene.
And you said last night there were no obvious signs of trauma. Is there any belief as to how these kids may have died?
That's going to be part of it, right? Our medical examiner is going to obviously do the examination of the 3 children, and that's going to be determined by them. Right now, we know that based on what mother is saying, that she did harm her children.
Obviously so early in this investigation, and I know time will tell on this, but when you think of the young ages, the 3, the 2-year-old, the 7-month-old, possibly postpartum in any of this, is that something you...
Possibly postpartum? Like, I hate that stuff. Matter of fact, let me see. Good to go, Jay. Thank you very much. And I just got your donation. Let me read it real quick. For everybody else, I'd love to see some first-time donators in here. I know I see a lot of names in here all the time, but I have never seen them even donate once. So I'm just throwing it out there for the people that are here. I love having you guys here, but I would love to see some new names pop up in here, okay? But Vicky just donated just now, and let me make sure if this is the same. Okay. Well, I'll just say your first name. I'm not going to give your last name, but Vicky just donated. So, Vicky, if you're listening, thank you very much.
You guys would be looking into as well?
Investigators look into every aspect of it, right? During the interview process, that's something that they are so experienced in speaking and dealing with these type of cases. So I will tell you that that's something that they will more than likely be asking questions about.
Did the mother provide any explanation as to why she did this?
At this moment, I don't have that information. I can tell you that that's going to be something that's going to be part of this the report.
Can you tell us a little bit more about the residence? We're seeing it, it kind of looks like a landscaping or nursery of some sort. Is this a home or?
It is definitely, they are living in a residence inside this location. There is a business associated with it. I don't know the connection between the family and that business, but I can tell you that there is a business that's associated in that same property.
Do you know who lived at that home? The kids, the mother, a father as well?
I can tell you that the parents of the children, the 3 children, and 2 additional adults lived in that residence.
Was the father aware of what had happened?
That's part of the investigation.
We have some viewers that are joining us live. Can you give us an update, just the basics that you guys have to
press release.
Absolutely. So right now what we know is that the mother has admitted to harming her 3 children. The children were pronounced deceased last night. Officers arrived.
Also, as a reminder for people that don't remember, she's already had her children taken away from her when she was in Oklahoma for a period of time. So she had already lost custody, and they gave her the kids right back. That's insane. That is absolutely insane.
Arrived after 7:30 p.m. to an unknown trouble call to a residence in the area of 25th Street and Vineyard. She will be booked for 3 counts of first-degree murder, and that's where we are with the investigation.
Talk with us about how much longer you guys are going to be out here. Obviously, it's already been, 12 hours.
We actually are at the final stages. They're going to be finishing up some photos, and we should be out of the area here in the next maybe 30 minutes or so.
Sergeant, sorry to be persistent on the details. Can you tell us where these children were found in the home?
I can tell you that once you enter that home, there's a front door, and I would consider it a living room area. So they were in that area. As soon as you enter that home, we didn't have to go look for the children.
And was it the mother who initially said that they had been acting sick?
Yes.
Where are the father and the relative now?
They are still with us. We're still in the process of doing interviews. Again, as you can imagine, this is a 3-victim homicide, so we're still trying to gather information for the investigation.
Is there any idea how long those children were dead or unresponsive before you guys arrived?
Yeah, once again, that's going to be something for the medical examiner to determine. All right, thank you very much. You're okay.
Man, wow. And I can't tell really what her nationality is, but I'm pretty sure that she might share a similar nationality to this chick right here. So I'm sure that probably bothers her quite a bit, man. I mean, just children in general. I mean, because kids, they can't speak for themselves. They can't defend themselves, and they depend on us for every single thing that they get. And for somebody that's supposed to be trusted, somebody that supposedly loves them. And this is another thing I want to throw out there, because I've thought about this before, because I always think it's strange when women will have a baby by a man, right? There's some women out there that will have a baby by a man and say that that man should love those kids just because that kid shares their DNA. How many of you guys have heard women say that? Or do you ladies out there know some of your friends that have said some things like that? It's your kid, you should love that kid. So let's put this in a proper perspective. If that's really the case, and all the man did was provide a seed, and he's supposed to just innately in his heart and his soul love this kid, well, shouldn't that be like double, triple, and quadruple the amount of feeling when a mother has to have that seed grow inside her body and then give birth, not once, not twice, but 3 times? And we talk about mothers being nurturers and providers, and they just love their kids to the end of the earth, right? So why wouldn't we hold a woman to those type of standards and say that what she did is just beyond human, right? This was just evil. This was evil. It was demonic, and this broad just simply did not care about these children, because in America, we make it way too easy to just have kids and get shit for it. You get praised for it. You get a pat on the ass for it. You get food stamps. You get Section 8. You get WIC. You get car vouchers. And you get child support from every single kid that you have by a man in this country. Even if that man hasn't made a commitment to you like a marriage. Isn't that something? You just had a kid and you get shit for it. So it makes it to where we're going to start raising more unstable. I said unstable. I don't know if that's a word. Unstable citizens. Essentially, what we're going to end up doing is just bringing more people into this world just to push them right from school straight to prison. They're building more prisons than they are schools, and they're looking to fill them up. They've been privatized, and all they're doing is looking to make a profit at this point. They don't really give a shit about people, but it's not their responsibility to give a shit about people. It's not DHS's responsibility to give a shit about people. It's not the police or the president or your mayor's responsibility to give a shit about the kids that you are bringing into this world. Everybody understand that? It was Rachel Milan Henry's job to love and care and provide for her children or not get pregnant. That's the good thing about our group of people. Shout out to all my responsible ladies out there in the chat that know they only bring children into this world if they can actually provide for them. They want them here and they care and love about them with all of their heart and do everything that they can. There's mothers out there that bust their ass to take care of their kids because it wasn't the kid's choice to bring them here. It was the mother's choice to bring those kids here, regardless of if that man stuck around or if he didn't. Shout out to my ladies that have stepped up to the plate and done what they had to do. We also have some great fathers out there. I'm a representative of that. I think I'm a good father. My daughter thinks I'm a great father, and I'll take her compliment. But I have done everything that I possibly can do to make sure and provide and take care of my baby that she doesn't need or want for anything. And she knows I love her. That's never been a thing that could even be questioned. Not in this life or the next life or the life after that. I don't understand. I really don't understand how you can purposefully bring children into this world just to rob them of an opportunity just to be something great. This woman deserves the harshest penalty, and I can almost guarantee you guys that she's going to get it. She's either going to get the death penalty, she's going to get life in prison. Other than that, her life is done in America. It's over with. And I hope that every day that somebody in that prison makes her suffer for what she did. I hope that they make her life a living hell for what she did. I hope that her soul burns for what she did to those babies. And again, I'm going to give you guys their names again. Zane Henry was the big baby boy. He was 3 years old, and he tried to fight his mom back in order to save his siblings. And I think his soul deserves a special prize for that in heaven. What do y'all think about that? Because if he was just a little bit bigger, he might have been able to stop his mom. And something in his mom should have grabbed her soul and said, hey, if my son is in there hitting me and trying to stop me, maybe this is wrong. That broke my heart when I read that. Zane Henry, the 3-year-old boy, Mariah Henry, and Catalea Rios, those babies, those angels, I hope that their souls do rest in peace. And I really wish that they could have grown up to been something great, but they had a terrible mother, and it was just real unfortunate that everybody around them, including the aunt and the biological father, failed them. Personally, I think that the biological father, they should look at charges for him, especially knowing that this chick was a goddamn dopehead. The aunt? There's no way that this chick was doing meth and you did not know that she was a goddamn meth head. Come on now. Let me calm down. There's no way. There's absolutely no way that they did not know. And for that, I think they should face charges also. Give that woman the book. She deserves everything punishable underneath the law. R.I.P. Zane, R.I.P. Mariah, R.I.P. Catalea. Those babies deserve to be something great. This is your boy DJ Just J. I'm signing off with the AFC, where we advocate for children first. Guys, if you see something, please say something. Don't just let these things ride. If you see yellow flags or red flags, it is our responsibility. Step up and say something. The National Child Abuse Hotline is available 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Let me see if I can find it in there. Did Miss June post it? Yes, she did. That's why I love her. The National Child Abuse Hotline is available at 800-4-CHILD or 800-422-4453, or just Google search it on your phone. If you need help, call, say something. Don't do this to these kids. That little boy and them kids tried to fight for their lives. They wanted to live, and she was just like, she didn't want them to. And that's not fair, okay? I love you guys from my heart to yours, man. I love you guys, and y'all have a great night, man. Peace.